I think I would like to have an animal,
They're fun, man, but you gotta really know what you're getting into. If you go out of town, you're gonna need somebody to watch it, feed it, and take care of it. You gotta get that. You gotta make sure you have a big enough yard where your dog can get some exercise.
Yeah.
And they're gonna shit all over the place. You're gonna have to learn how you pick that up. You're gonna have to pick that shit up.
Yeah. Can you teach them to shit in like a hole or something?
Nope. Nope, they shit wherever they go outside. They just find a spot and say this is a good spot to shit, and they just drop logs. Yeah, and then you got logs all over your lawn.
Yeah.
And if you go 2 days without cleaning those logs, you got 8 logs. You gotta go out and pick up logs. And I have 3 dogs, so I have mucho logos. 3 dogs makes mucho logs. A lot of logs. You gotta go around cleaning it up. Dude. And then if I don't clean it up, I'll have that fucking smell. I'll be out in the yard like,
oh really?
Dog shit smells. And then you gotta get the little scraper, and scrape the logs, and I have a place I dump them into.
Yeah.
It's nasty. Scooping up shit. Imagine if your grandma just shit all over your lawn. Just go out on the lawn and she shits in the yard, shits on the lawn. Like, oh, grandma's out there shitting. I gotta go clean up her shit.
Yeah.
I love her, but God, I hate cleaning her shit.
Yeah, I would hate cleaning up probably human shit for some reason. But I remember
more than dog shit?
Well, when I was a kid, they had a boy in our neighborhood named Mario, right? And he was, dude, he ended up dying actually. He did some pills and drove into an embankment. But when I was young, he would shit in his yard, make me bury it. And that's how I was allowed to be friends with him.
How did he make you bury it?
He just asked me to do it, and I was afraid not to do it, I think.
He said, hey, yo, dude, you're not going to believe this, but I took a shit, and it's out my yard. I can't even bury it because I'll throw up. Can you do me a favor and go bury it?
Yeah. He was dark, man. He had a real dark vision. And he would, I mean, he probably, honestly, dude, he probably shit 200, 300 times, and I buried it.
No.
I swear to God.
Come on.
I swear to God. I swear to God, dude. And he
how'd you not run out of places to make new holes? Did you think you ever dug up old shit to put in new shit?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. We basically had like the only setup I had, and I didn't even have a strong system. The only setup I had was like one of those plastic, beach.
Oh no.
Like a beach setup, dude. I'm talking. I was 7.
So wait a minute. This 7-year-old was doing this. How old was he?
He was 8 or 9.
Oh, he's tricking you by being older.
He was older, and
2 years when you're 7 is a long stretch. You know, when you're 32, 32, 34, that doesn't mean shit.
Whatever, dude.
7 and 9, that's a big stretch.
Yeah, you go shit at your house, buddy. That's what I tell people now.
But so for what was do you remember the first? There's no way you really remember.
I remember
what
100%.
He said.
I don't remember what he said, but I remember.
How did it happen? How did it happen? Will you find yourself with a plastic shovel and another person's shit going, damn. How did it come to this?
Well, it came to it because I know my brother probably wasn't around, and I wanted somebody to play with, and he was older, so I was hanging out, and he was deviant, man.
How so?
He just had a little bit of like he was kind of slithering. You know what I'm talking about?
He knew how to manipulate you.
Yeah, he was.
Obviously, you buried his shit 200 plus times.
Like he had the same color in the outside of his eye and the inside of his eye. You know what I'm talking about?
A demon.
Yeah. Like a light demon.
El Diablo.
Yeah, like a El Diablo, but also who was in elementary school.
Ah, interesting.
But he.
So when you first found yourself, do you remember the feeling that you first found when you were digging a hole for a dude's shit? Like, just thinking, what am I? How long can I do this? What if he keeps asking? How do I stop this? How did you wind up stopping? That's maybe a better question.
You know what? I don't remember how it kind of, how
petered
it kind
off.
of, yeah, petered off. I don't remember how it kind of tapered off.
His parents ever like, hey, do you ever shit in the house? How come we don't have any missing toilet paper?
Well, dude, you know what? That's what I think it was. I think he was lazy. He was. I'm serious. And he sat outside behind his slide. They had a slide in his yard because they had, a little bit of money. God. And he sat outside behind the slide.
Shat is a great word too, by the way.
And it was silty, kind of soil and sand. And I remember going over there. And I still remember. I remember the shade of it, honestly.
What'd it look like?
I would say like a taupe, but with a little more brown in it.
You can always find coyote shit because it has like little berries in it a lot of times. Coyotes eat all kinds of things.
Yeah?
Yeah, they eat some berries sometimes. I'll see these logs with like these little red berries in it. And I'm like, oh, that's coyote shit. It's always a dark brown too. Their shit's super consistent. It's weird.
Gooses have fancy shit sometimes if you see them.
You mean disgusting?
Yeah, I never liked it, but it seems...
Gross creatures.
Yeah. Gooses are violent. And that's a bait and switch by Mother Nature, because if you see a goose, you think, oh, this is fun. This is going to be exciting.
No, they're mean.
And then they'll fucking choke out an infant at a park. I mean, gooses are violent.
They're violent.
Extremely violent. And they fight in packs.
Do they? They attack in packs? Wow.
Yeah, they do.
I have a friend who had a house on a lake, and they had a wire all around the lake. And I was like, what's the wire for? They're like, it's to keep the goose from going into the water. They don't want them waddling into the water. So I was like, is that electric? Like, what kind of fence is that? I'm not sure if it's electric. It might give them a little shock. But the idea was to try to keep because they shit all over their lawn. They shit all over near where they had a pond in their yard.
Yeah. They're just like
the ultimate.
They're like that kid Mario. They're just like that kid Mario, but a bird.
How balling are you when you have a pond in your yard? Like, you want to go fishing? Yeah, let's take 5 steps out of my backyard. You know, I mean, that's like the ultimate.
But I don't think I don't think if you have a natural hill in your yard, kind of, I don't think that's that expensive to get water put in and to get a pump put in. I don't think it's that drastic.
Oh man, I would think that'd be a nightmare. But they got to make sure it doesn't leak. Like, you got to, like, what's going to keep the water there? Yeah, like, it takes a special kind of bottom. Like, when you go to a natural lake, like, that water's pooled up there for a reason. Like, that's an unusual ground. You got to realize, if you're looking at a natural lake, unless it's a glacial lake, the water's decided to stay there. Whereas the same amount of water has probably landed everywhere, but it's decided to stay there. So what the hell's different between that ground and all the other ground around it? So when you want to make a pond, you just can't make a pond everywhere. There's a reason why there's not a pond there, because that's not the kind of ground for a pond.
Right.
So they would have to put a liner in.
Oh, you got to tame it's like taming Mother Nature almost.
Yeah, you have to do something. You can't just pour water in there. You got to do something. And one of the things that they do in a lot of places, they use this really thick koi pond liner. It's basically a plastic liner. So you got a bullshit ass fake pond is what you got.
That's gonna look shitty.
You got an above ground pool.
Yeah.
You know, basically the above ground pool of ponds.
It's not even organized, you know.